I'm Niko, and I decided to make this video with my friend Freddie here today to explain to you how she's been helping people save money, save the planet, and save her time from whatever it is. So I'm going to hand it off to her now.
Thanks, Nico. There's nothing I like more than helping people. And I have found that these products and this company and the integrity of this company has been like nothing else. And there are many others who agree. I do know, I'm going to do a little bit of name dropping, but these products are fit for a queen or a princess because I do know friends that were riding with a cab driver who was an Amway distributor, and as he drove in England past the royal homes and palaces and that, he showed them the door that he used to deliver these products to Princess Di when she was and some other friends of mine have visited with Bill Gates, and he said this is the best business opportunity in the world, and he would be involved in this business if it weren't for him being so busy with his philanthropy work. And of course, Bill Gates and his company have been very instrumental in setting up the wonderful website program that we have that makes shopping very convenient for the customers now. But the purpose of this video is to take you back to some of the principal reasons that I got involved with the business and my mission in caring for God's earth and making this planet a safer planet for our upcoming generations so that we do not continue to have it polluted by caustic, corrosive chemicals and products that do more to destroy than they do to help us all. So listen up and hope you enjoy. We're going to be talking about saving the planet and making the earth a good, safe place for future generations. And back in 1965 was when I was first introduced to environmental type of products. There was this word, it's called biodegradable, and I didn't know what biodegradable meant, but basically it means that it will break down and enrich the soil and become part of the earth again with nutrients and things like that. And at that time there were so many chemicals being introduced that were destroying the nutrients,
Yeah.
and that was in the 1960s. And I do know that there's always been a lot of misconceptions about what kind of products, what these products do, or how safe they are, the integrity of them. And me being a doubting Thomas, I work towards getting as much information and education and proof. And once I got that, I became very involved in a mission that was not exactly at all what I had thought my life was going to be. I was educated to be a teacher with my bachelor's degree, and I had three children.
You have
I had three children, and
one of which is my mom.
yes, and I wanted to be,
Hello.
I wanted to be able to be home with my kids. And then my plan was, when they were all in school, that I would go back and teach school on a full-time basis. But
That's cool.
when I was introduced to these products, and I could see that there was a great need for people to have some consumer education on products that were safe to use, and also they needed to learn how to use them and what their benefits were. So that and so what did I do? I tried out the products. I went to information meetings. I saw it was an old slide protection in the beginning, and it was called the thumb on the scale in the supermarket game, and it was a big impact.
Yep.
And what it did is it left me uh, realizing that I had already known that advertising was like fake, that what we'd see on the TV and stuff like that. And you'd try the products and they really didn't work like it said they were gonna work. And under my kitchen counter, I had a counter full of products, and we call them Brand X products because they were not the Amway products, which I was being introduced to. And the bottles were almost full, but I wouldn't throw them away because I didn't want to waste money. But on the other hand, I didn't use them because they didn't work.
Right.
And so when I found out that these products did work and they didn't harm surfaces, they weren't abrasive and they weren't caustic, and they had no soap scum, so they rinsed free. And this biodegradable bit meant that they would go down into the septic tanks or into the sewage systems, and they did not kill the friendly bacteria that was part of nature's process of digesting and putting food or putting this material, waste material, into a natural form that could be absorbed and used by the soil.
Yeah.
So that really impressed me.
It still impresses me to this day.
Yes.
I really love the Amway products.
Yes. Yes. And I congratulate you for being open-minded to get the full information.
Yeah.
And this has been one of the things that has always been a challenge to me, because I feel like that people have put up a block that has made it so that they don't get to get the benefits of these products, and they continue to go on and have things like clogged drains and wash machines that wear out and need repairs, and clothes that wear out or look old or faded or have stains in them and that. And I agree that, yes, it is fun to have new clothes, but I have found that a lot of people are really like to buy clothes that are used, that are looking like brand new, and that's what these clothes do. There are so many benefits to using these products that it just comes up in my mind all the time. It's like, I remember always having to get out the sewing machine and sew up seams, or get the needle and thread out and sew buttons on. Well, using the laundry products, the Amway laundry products, I have found that these are things that I don't even have to do anymore, and that's because the products are so safe that they don't deteriorate the fabrics and the threads, and so therefore they're stronger. And I have never needed to use any caustic chlorine bleaches since using these products, because the caustic chlorine bleaches I have found have been extremely damaging. If you leave shoestrings in them, shoelaces in them, you can come back and just have the plastic tips because the chlorine bleach will have eaten it up.
Right.
Yeah, the entire shoestring. And they also weaken fibers, and when they weaken fibers, they leave a lot of lint, and of course that lint is in the lint filter. And before using these products, I can remember when I was trying to dry towels and things like that, because we'd always use the bleach on our kitchen towels and that, and there would be all this lint, so you'd have to dry and dry and dry, and once you get them dry, then you have to dry them some more to get the lint off. Well, when you use these products, you don't have that lint in your towels, because the products don't deteriorate the fibers, and all of the soap film rinses out, so you don't even have soap film that redeposits onto the clothes.
Yeah, I agree, because definitely I saw it when I was doing laundry up at college. There was always a bunch of lint in the laundry machines, and like I've never been used to when I do the laundry at my own home. There's never really any lint. There is a little bit, still though. There was way more lint at the college up at CSU.
Yes.
When I was doing my own laundry in the dorms.
Yes. And of course, at our consumer education programs that I do have Ziploc bags of lint that have been taken out of the dryers from people that have used the normal, and they just think it's a normal thing. But then also I've taken the lint, and there's just a little skip of lint that remains in the dryer. And of course, you know, lint can be, it can catch on fire. It's a fire danger.
Yeah.
And in the condo complex where I live, at least once a year, they come around and check the dryer vents, and that's costly. That adds to our HOA fees, and it's because most people do have lint, because the majority of the people are using the highly advertised products that they buy in the store.
Yeah.
And that. And I guess that one of the purposes of our interview here today is that we want to encourage you to really stop and think about what is going on in your laundry. Do you have a lot of lint? Do you ever have to throw away clothes or stop using them because they look like they are faded? Also, one of the things about these products is they're plant-based rather than petroleum-based, and so therefore they don't have like petroleum oil can get on the hose in your car, and if you don't wipe it off and it stays there, it will soften that rubber hose, and then pretty soon that will get hard and it will crack. Well, for years people think that if they put their clothes in the dryer, like their bras or anything that has a lot of elastic, that the dryer is going to ruin the elastic in their clothes. And this is not true. What actually does is that it's the petroleum in the detergents, the synthetic detergents that people are using, and when that gets in the dryer, the heat will aggravate that. But if you use the plant-based Amway laundry products, you can wash and dry, which I have for years and years, and I guess I could snap my elastic in my bra, and you could see that it has the full life of its elastic, or however you want to say it. But I know that people normally have a lot of expenses in replacing underwear, and when using these products, if you want to get new products, if you want to get new clothing, that's great, but you're not having to get it because your old has worn out. I have to laugh because when we first got into business and our friends were using the Brand X products, and we were going to meetings, actually one of the gals, we had to all stand around her because the elastic was out of her underwear. And you know, she kind of like, you would still wear that underwear without the tight elastic, but you kind of had a certain way that you held your legs so that you held the underwear up so that it didn't fall on the floor. Well, hers slipped. It was falling on the floor. So we had to all make a circle around her to hide her while she got taken care of getting her underwear back in place. But
that's weird.
Another,
she was wearing a dress?
Yes.
Yeah.
In those days, yeah, this was in the 1960s when I got into the business, and we did wear more dresses. Another thing is that I remember bobby socks was such a fashion when I was growing up. And of course, the elastic would go out of these big bobby socks. And so we would have to use rubber bands, and we'd do that for quite a while because they were real floppy. And that never happens when you're using the Amway laundry products. In fact, years later, I was doing one of my meetings in Fort Thomas, Kentucky, and there was an elderly man there who wore long-legged underwear in the wintertime, and he always, the ribs to his long-legged underwear, he said had always been floppy, and his socks, and he kind of tucked it together and that. And he said what he'd noticed is now that they were using Amway, of course it doesn't put elastic back in, but when they buy something new, the elastic doesn't go out. So he really liked the tight, snug-fitting ribbing with the strong elastic. Well, it wasn't actually elastic, but elasticized threads that kept his cuffs close to his ankles and not floppy. And so I don't know if you've noticed any of your clothes, the cuffs on your jackets or sweatshirts, the ribbing in that getting floppy, but that's what can happen with these other petroleum-based products.
Yep. Do you want to show them one of the
Sure.
demonstrations?
Another thing is that the products totally dissolve, and you don't get into the, you don't have the soap scum. And here is the results of a demonstration I did with 1 teaspoon of a brand X, and then we were letting it dissolve, and then it also, then we poured it out, and from 1 teaspoon, all of that soap scum remained in that dish, which shows how much accumulation it would be in the drain pipes. And this is the one we did with our SA8 laundry product, and there was no soap scum. We poured it out, no soap scum, and so therefore you do not have to worry about the drains getting all clogged up. And now this is a pipe, and the pipe was taken out of one of my customers' homes, and they were an Amway user, but the house had been lived in before, and in fact they had a lot of big trees, and she said that they always had Schroder come. And she came to my laundry program, and even though they've been using the products for years, unless a person has been to one of the programs, they may not realize all of the benefits that they're getting. And so her husband, they had a leak, which is very obvious. If I can get this position,
You want me to do it?
there's a big crack here. Okay, there's a big crack in this pipe.
Where is it? Let's see. You can see the crack.
And when the
Yep.
plumber took it out, he said he had never seen such a clean pipe. As you can see on the inside, there is no soap scum, but you can see the little white stain because you know that at one point it was all clogged up with those brand X laundry products. And
Let's see.
so what had happened is that they were using, this was the kitchen, and they were using the Amway dishwashing compound, the Amway dish drops, the LOC for washing fruits and vegetables in their hands, and every product that went down the drain in the kitchen was an Amway product. And so that's kind of the proof in the pudding, and still today, well, this is I have a lot of education sheets that I have typed up, and you're not going to be able to read this, but it is available from me, and it's called Save the Planet. And I wrote this after staying in a luxury hotel in Dallas on one of our business trips, and it's always an aggravation when we go to a hotel, is many times the water, when you take a shower, the water doesn't drain out quick enough and you have all of this dirty water around your feet. Of course, if it's a bathtub shower. And so I realized that, you know, this world is still suffering from clogged drains. And so I began my ministry in caring for God's earth and being a good steward by sharing my STP, my Save the Planet Laundry program, with as many people as possible. And I continue to get confirmation that this is a needed mission. And here it is. This was first written in 2004, which is about 15 years ago. And just a few weeks ago, in 2019, I received a phone call from a customer who's in a nursing home, and her husband called if we didn't have a body and hand soap that could be used that wouldn't clog their drains. Well, for years and years, they have been using LOC, but they had not read my literature or listened to one of my consumer programs, and so did not realize that LOC can actually be used as a hand cleaner, and it does a much better job than the liquid soap. He had been on the phone with the major company with the initials of CP, which I think you can all figure out, and was complaining to them about how he is always having to clean out the drains and do some extra plumbing to get the pipes clean, and he's tired of doing that. And they said, oh, they had never heard of that. Well, I cannot believe that. But that is something that you're not going to experience when you use the Amway products. And I have found that true with the entire product line. That's why I am so sold on the Satinique hair care products. They rinse free. I'm so sold on the gentle and healthy body products that you take showers in, or you can have a spatial hand soap and body gel and deodorant and other products that are for personal care. And you know, they rinse free. And one of the big challenges that people had when I was actively servicing customers was a lot of soap scum buildup in their showers. And so I really established some very good customers from being in their shower with them. I would take Amway products into the shower with them, and then it would determine what type of a surface that their shower was made of, whether it was ceramic or vinyl or fiberglass or whatever, and find the product that's going to work the best for them. And then I'd always like to share with them many of the other ways that they could use this product. Well, another advantage besides rinsing free, and so having it much easier to clean up a shower, was the fact that the floor in the shower was not slippery because it did not have this soap scum, this slippery soap film on it that many people have fallen in their showers. And of course, that's, you know, that is very unfortunate. You don't like breaking a bone, you don't like going through all of that pain and all that recovery and things like that. And this is another benefit of using these products, that gives you a safer environment. So that's, I could go on, and you know that I would.
Nice.
And So there are many benefits to using just the laundry products. They're low sudsing and they're biodegradable. There's no fillers to cause irritation or to wear out your clothes. And it rinses free. It won't clog your drain pipes and your septic tanks. It will allow the friendly bacteria to decompose the waste in there, so you don't have to be cleaning out your septic tank. And it's non-corrosive, so it protects your wash machine parts and your clothing fasteners. And it has rust inhibitors, and it does not destroy the elastic. And it's dermatologically and allergy tested to protect your skin. And it is a super concentrated formula, which I think I should show you now.
Let's do it.
I just bought a new brand X. Well, I wasn't really going to show it, but its label is on both sides. Here is the present scoop.
Yep.
Here was the former scoop. Do you think anybody really paid attention whenever they were going to grab a scoop and put a scoop full of laundry detergent in their wash machine? You know, to me, that it really did not represent integrity. I guess I should keep this scoop up here,
Yep.
and you can see that this is the size of the Amway scoop.
Yeah.
And of course, if you've got a high efficiency washer, you will use even less, maybe half that much. So that's a big comparison. Our product concentrates their products. They do not have fillers or additional water and that in them, and you do use a smaller amount. And this is one of the things that some of my literature goes along with, is to educate you on smaller amounts to use. Some time ago, I wrote another article, and it's called Mr. Soap Scum versus Mrs. Switch. And because when I first got in the business, one of the problems was I always had the bathtub ring. And we had a sliding glass door, and so I'd have to get in the tub to clean the bathtub ring. Well, since using the Amway products, I basically put a couple squirts of LOC, liquid organic multi-purpose cleaner, in the tub, and there is no bathtub ring. It holds all of the dirt, etc., in suspensions and rinses down, goes down the drain, and doesn't cling to the sides of the drain. Okay, so here's my Mr. Soap Scum versus Mrs. Switch. Scummy, clingy, dingy versus squeaky, squeaky clean by Freddie Schroder. Does Mr. Soap Scum live with you at your domain? Did you ever see or feel his white film as it clings to the surface of your sinks, your tubs, your clothes, and your dishwashing machines? Does he put his ring around your tub and leave his gritty signature? Does he speak to you with his gurgle, gurgle, gurgle voice as he slows or stops the water going down your drains? Does he cause you to call for Mr. Liquid Plumber? What a bummer. Does he leave his dingy film of soap suds hanging over all your sizzling, colored, and blistering white duds, and cause you to itch and scratch your skin? And does he make you play tug of war as you try to take him off your shower door? Well, by now I'll bet you'd like to tell Mr. Soap Scum to take his scummy hands and get himself out the door. And so you think it's time to change, and whatever you have been buying from the store, all these Anyway products, to buy them from the Amway store, and you will be very, very happy, and all of this Amway family are products that your family will adore. Thank you, and I'm going to sign off for today.